we're meeting after almost 2 years like this, where I am going to share everything as to where I was, where was I gone, what was really happening in my life. I want to share everything with you, but stay tuned with me because this is going to be long, and I'm going to share how I have changed, not just as a person but also as a manifestation coach in the last 2 years. And it has gotten really deep, my understanding of how all of this really works, because definitely I understood it before, but I am living it now. So starting from the very day where it all began, it was 28th July 2025. At 12 in the night, I got admitted into the hospital, and my doctor, she had told me that I am going to be able to deliver my baby tomorrow. 1 week before, I had already gotten into labor naturally, which they had to stop because they told me that it is still going to be premature to deliver the baby, right? So they had to delay it by a week, and now they were telling me that everything looks perfect. It's just is you're completely ready to deliver your baby tomorrow. And I was so excited. We were so happy to be welcoming our baby tomorrow, right? So at 12, we were told that the room that you had applied for is not available, so you have to be in this other room, which is common, but tomorrow you should be able to move into the private room. And we were like, okay, it's a matter of just few hours, right? But here comes the bad part, that my husband couldn't be with me, completely opposite to how I had imagined everything to be. I was alone in this room, and they told me that he would be able to visit you for some time, but then he cannot be with you, right? Because this is a common room. And I was like, okay, whatever has to be done has to be done, right? So they gave me the first dose of artificial labor at 12, and they asked me that if I can sleep, just go to sleep, and tomorrow they'll be giving me the next dose, which is going to be higher. And till then I was on my own, and I was all fine until the next morning at 6 a.m. when the doctor came for the checkup. The internal checkup was so intense that I cannot describe in words the amount of pain that I felt at that moment. I had never felt in my life. It was so much pain to be able to bear. And I was already in labor for the last 6 hours, and the checkup was too intense, and still things were fine. They gave me the second dose of the labor, the artificial labor, and my husband came to see me, and I told him that it's very difficult to do it without him being present with me, but still I was like hopeful. It's still going to be a few more hours and it's all going to be okay. God is with me. I was very optimistic. And the labor started to get worse, and that's the worst kind of pain that you can ever feel. So kudos to all the women out there. I know it's nothing like we've ever experienced ever. So it was around 11:30 now. I was almost 11 hours in labor, and they told me, they came for the second checkup, the internal checkup, and they told me that I was only 2 centimeters dilated. I was screaming with pain. I was crying. I was seeking help, and the nurse, she started scolding me like I was some imbecile who doesn't know anything and is just screaming for nothing. I felt so heartbroken. I felt so threatened, hurt. There were so many emotions at that point in time. I felt like, where am I even? And this is a private, expensive hospital, by the way. I was like, I felt all kind of emotions, and scared was the primary emotion, which I definitely didn't want to feel, basically based on how I had imagined my birth experience to be. But here I was. The second checkup happened. They said that I was only 2 centimeters dilated, and it's still a long journey ahead. And then they gave me an injection, and they went 5 minutes passed. They had asked me to keep monitoring the heartbeat of my baby. They had put some instruments over on my belly, and I was constantly watching. It was completely fine, but within 5 minutes the heartbeat of my baby went from 190 to 30, fluctuating from this extreme to this extreme. And I was so scared, because this was something to be scared and startled about. And I immediately told the nurse that this is happening, and she brought in the assistant doctors, and they said that this is serious. And they told my doctor, and she said that this is a case of fetal distress, and I had to be operated on immediately. And they got the signatures of my husband. And my mom was outside. They asked her to stay out because they were checking me and things like that. So all of this was happening, and I was questioning, why is nothing going my way, the way I had imagined everything to be, the happy way. Why is everything going out of the blues, and this is so much chaos to handle. And I was operated on, and at 12:07 I saw my baby, and I forgot literally everything on earth. He was crying when they pulled him out. I could feel, you can feel all the sensations, just not pain. So when they were pulling him out, I could feel it. I could feel the stretch. I could feel the incision that they had made. I could feel everything. So when they had pulled him out, he was crying, and the moment I said, "Hi baby," he just went quiet. The look on his face, it was so surreal. I just forgot everything, literally the best moment of my life. And they told me that they will now put me to sleep, and I slept with peace looking at him. And 2-3 hours passed by. I found myself in the post operation room, and I was vomiting, and I was in so much pain. And all I remember is asking the people around, "Where is my husband? Where is my baby? Take me to them." And they said that it's just a few more hours and you'll be with them. And I guess must have slept again. And a few hours after, I am seeing my husband, and he has this look on his face. He was really scared to death. He had tears in his eyes, and he said, "Are you all right?" He was caressing my hair, and such a beautiful moment. And he told me after that he was so scared that he would lose me, because it had been so many hours and he had no information of me. He was checking everywhere. So poor management, of course, but I was with him finally, and I was told that baby had to be in NICU because he was still premature 3 days. And I was questioning if he was still premature. I wasn't in natural labor. Why was I even admitted? But I will connect the dots later, because this has so much to do with everything. So I'll tell you all of this later. But he was in NICU. I couldn't meet him, and I was told that you'll be able to meet him tomorrow morning. I was very excited to meet him, of course, but at the same time I was in so much pain. I couldn't move. It was such an intense pain from the C-section, of course. So they had told me that because you were given an epidural, you don't have to move your back so much, right? You have to lay still and do not move. And it was around 9-10, and my husband was with me. We had gotten the room that they had promised. We were in a private room now. And I told my husband that I shouldn't be feeling the urge to pee, because there is a catheter on, and you shouldn't be feeling the urge. I was operated 4-5 years back for appendix, so I know that you shouldn't be feeling the urge to pee. It has to go on its own. And I told my husband that there's something wrong, and he called the nurse. The nurse checked everything, and she said, "No, everything looks fine and there's nothing to worry about." This is, by the way, very, very private and personal, but I want to share it with you, because this really changed me as a manifestation coach, and I want to tell you everything about it. So um, a few hours pass by, and I know that my husband is very, very tired from everything that he's been running all day. I don't want to disturb him, but I tell him to call the nurse again, which he does. The nurse checks again and she says everything is fine, just go to sleep and let us sleep also, because it was very late. And I was again very, very, I just had no words to describe what is even happening. And it had this was something that had never happened with me before. Of course I had faced challenges in life, but this was it was heartbreaking, because you're so vulnerable, you can't move, you've just delivered, and you've not seen your baby. There are so many emotions, of course, but she told me that everything's fine. And 1 or 2 hours later, I am holding my bladder, and I'm like, this isn't right, you have to do something about it, call the doctors, do whatever, but I am feeling the urge to pee, which I shouldn't be. uh, some time passes by and the nurse arrives. What she sees is the bedsheet is drenched in menstrual blood. Everything's not as it should be. And I just had tears in my eyes, because I was saying it from so long to just see what's wrong. The doctor came and she said, "Oh, this must be a mistake. Don't know how it happened. The catheter must have leaked, or we will remove the catheter tomorrow morning and you would be able to go on your own. uh, you know just take help of your husband and go to the bathroom on your own." I was like, come on, are you kidding me? But I was in no strength to fight, and of course I didn't want any drama over here. I was super excited to see my baby the next day. So I just said, let it be, just make things fine now, and it's okay. And I was thinking, the moment I see my baby, everything's gonna be fine. And the very next day, these are visiting hours. I go to my baby. Everybody in the nursery is telling me that he has recognized you because he's smiling. And there was this smile on his face. I see him for the first time. I nurse him for the first time. The way he latched onto me, ethereal, cannot explain. Beautiful most moment of my life. And I had literally forgotten everything now. And I was like, it's okay. I don't want to report the nurse. I don't know, maybe their style of whatever it is. I just want to take my baby home. The doctors told me that you seem pretty confident, and his health is completely fine. We've checked him. Just a few more hours, do the formalities, and you should be able to take him to home. And I thought that we'll take him in a few hours, which we did. And I thought, whatever, ends well, all's well if it ends well. But I was definitely wrong here, because this was just the beginning of the story, and I'm going to tell you how this was just the beginning in the second part.